let's zoom out for a moment and engage in another topic.
Yeah.
Okay, because we use also this. I mean, I like to use this podcast also to give the guest a chance to show also another side of themselves. I mean, I think all your sides are quite visible to everyone who is engaging with you.
Yeah.
But but we do this a little bit gamified approach also. Yeah, in the middle of the podcast, and and I was thinking, okay, what can I do? That guy is singing in a choir, right? Yeah,
Goldkirchen and singing.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, do we do something with singing? Then he is heavily interested in tattoos. Yeah, we can see some of your tattoos also. So do we do something with tattoos? Yeah, and then when we talked, you mentioned also your interest for comics.
Yeah.
And that my nerd part of me was very tempted to go to that direction, but I resisted. Okay, so I want to do something different, which is dealing with another of your side activities, which is DJing. Yeah. So tell us a little bit. Like, you are also.
I wouldn't say I'm nowhere professional or anything. I just like to do that, right? I really like to annoy people with my taste of music and what I think is good. And I'm quite lucky because there's my wife also has a choir, the Hansemädchen, which take me as their DJ quite often. I mean, the best thing, the best example was through the Goldkirchen. I got to know Oli P. a bit, who's doing a very good DJ set all the time. We had a concert at some point. I was like, dude, I'm getting married next year, and I need someone to do the DJ at my party. And I was like, man, I can't do that. If I start doing this, then I have to do this everywhere, and it also needs to be quite expensive. I was like, whatever. We didn't do this. But I got his playlist. So I mean, in the end, it meant like that was the start, but there was like something. I was the DJ at my own wedding party.
You were your DJ at your own wedding party.
Yeah, because
nice.
That's maybe also something that I don't trust everyone else to do this in the way I like it and the way it's right. So yeah, and this somehow, I mean, it's not something where I get booked quite often. I do this maybe 3-4 times a year.
Yeah.
And then quite often at parties when we are in our Goldkirchen clubhouse above the Tire Oase, I'm also the one who's like, no, I'm doing this now. This doesn't work otherwise.
Okay, but your wife really loves you, huh? Because I mean, trusting you on your own wedding, being the DJ.
I mean, she knows me for 25 and a half years now, so I think for her it's fine. But
okay. Because I mean, a lot of women would say like, no, that's the wedding. It needs to be perfect, and
it was perfect.
I mean, I was getting there. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't perfect. I was saying like, they also would like to have then the dance with you and not you being.
Yeah, but that's easy. Then you just go there. Then you put 3 things in the queue. There's auto fading anyways. Okay. And then you can also have. I mean, we didn't have a traditional one, right? The wedding party was in the attic of Gunnar Jäger.
Yeah.
And it was a party. Full stop. Yes, we had our own dance, but not something we learned, but our song. But yeah, I mean, everything else. That's.
Okay, cool. So. The game that we gonna play now, it calls Data Beats, name the track, flip the title. So it actually says everything that you need to know. I play a song, you try to tell me which song it is.
Yeah.
Ideally, you'd hit the title and the singer.
So I can sing a song. That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, and then you flip the title to something more related to data.
Oh God,
yeah. So you need to, I mean, you're a creative person. So let's see if you can create something.
This is either going to be awesome or awful. Let's see.
It might be also embarrassing.
I
mean, if that was you mean with awful. I mean, we try it.
Yeah,
let's see how it goes. Okay. And okay, let me start.
I have to look far away from your screen then.
Yeah, don't look at my screen, please. I will try, and I will do a shuffle, So I'm not sure, don't know which song it will come. But let me set it up very quickly. So, ready for deep dive games. Data Beats, name the track, flip the title. And here comes the first title.
It's Queen and Evil Rocky.
Ooh, that was an easy one.
So we will report you.
We will report you. That's good. Yeah, I like that.
I can go in both directions. We report what you did well or not well. That one.
We will report you. Yeah, that's awesome. I really like that. Dude, you're good at that. I like it.
Will not work when you sing it. Because report is too long.
We will
report
you.
It works. Sounds weird, but it works.
Yeah, it works. Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another one bites the dust, also Queen. Another project goes to shit. No. Oh, even better. Another model isn't used.
Another model is used, yeah. I was thinking about another KPI that is not used.
Yeah. Models are even more usual, right? I mean, I think when you have like 20 data science models, maybe 2 make it in production. And that makes data scientists very sad, but well, that's life.
Yeah, nice. Are these songs that you would actually play?
Yeah.
So you like?
I mean, I'm usually doing 80s, maybe a bit of 70s, but just very interesting stuff. I mean, I really like to do Eurodance and 90s. That's my thing, and rock, obviously.
Okay. But you're not from that generation, right?
Well, I grew up with Eurodance, right? And I think 80s is always, if you like music, 80s were a great time.
80s were a great time.
Yeah.
The lyrics were very great, I must say. I mean, like, even if you're not into the, let's say, the style, the genre itself, but if you just look at the lyrics, there was really thought put into it.
And I mean, also, if you were really into the whole Eurodance techno stuff in the 90s, to be honest, half of the songs are songs from the 80s that are just covered, so you know everything. And if you hear the original, and you get a little bit more distinguished in your music taste, that might also be quite nice if you are not just listening to techno.
Next one.
Yeah.
I see it's a bit too easy for you. Yeah. I mean, let's see.
Eye of the Tiger. No, wait. Oh, that's too new shit. In the Name of Love, U2.
No.
Without U2. It's U2.
It's U2.
It's U2.
Yeah. Yeah, wait. Yeah. It's U2.
It's U2. Is it Without You? No, it's
I think you actually said it. Maybe it was my mistake. Let's listen to it.
In the Name of Love.
Yeah.
Name of Love.
Okay. Yeah. The title is "I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For."
Okay, yeah, true.
The title is long.
But that's even better. I mean, in the Name of Love, you could have said something in the name of correct KPIs, but I still haven't found the question I'm asking for.
Oh, yeah. I was going for "I still haven't found that missing data set."
Yeah, that's true. Or yeah.
Something that you might have heard also quite.
Not even missing, I still haven't found the data set I need. It is there for sure, but it's not operationalized in a way that people can use it.
And maybe even I don't know even that it's a data set that I'm looking for.
Or there's no self-service, which quite often is also not the worst thing.
Okay, let's see. Next one.
That's The Police, Not Sting.
Yes.
And I'll Be Watching You.
Yes.
Yeah, we can keep it like this.
I'll be watching.
I'll be watching my North Star every day.
Watching my North Star every day, yeah. Because some people might say like, that's actually not the title. We let that count.
But
you know that. I mean, we're dealing with data people.
What is the real title of that song?
It is one of the core part of the song.
It's just watching you, right?
Like, every breath you
take. Every breath you take. I just did this also wrong at the music quiz in the Thai 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I was thinking about every query you make.
Yeah. Every time you kill a cluster.
But it's also a great song.
Yeah.
I love it. One really all time hit. Yeah,
we should keep this playlist. That would be quite good for Thai.
Hey, I have it in Spotify. I created it, so I can share it with you. Okay, next one.
That's embarrassing. It's crazy like that. I don't even know what the title is. And it's
well, you know from who
it's
it is.
J-Lo.
No, man. Yeah, No,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
But that was a 50-50 chance to be saying.
Yeah,
But
it's Beyonce.
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 Exactly.
Is it crazy like that?
Crazy in Love?
Crazy in love. Crazy in no. What could be good? I mean, yeah, crazily lost in KPIs. No, it's always KPIs. It's boring.
Yeah. I mean, her songs are very simple.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I thought about also very simple title.
Yeah, say.
Crazy in Data.
Yeah, crazy data. Crazy use cases. Or
Yeah, Crazy in Data, but it's so messy.
yeah. That's good. That's good. It's always messy.
It's always messy, right? Yeah, but we can see that we're hitting the 2000s here, and
Yeah, it's going down. I mean, it really depends what kind of music, right? I think also I could also tell you everything from the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
If it's Finch, Chiago, Icky Mel, or like German.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you call this kind of music. Just German, a little bit trashy music.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you go to something from the charts, that might be difficult at some point.
Yeah, I stuck also in. I mean, I must say, my music taste has very strongly shifted throughout the years. Yeah. So when I was younger, I mean, obviously, I'm a child that has grown up in the end of 90s, beginning of 2000s, and then and so on. So it was very strong R&B, hip hop, house music. And
I never got into that.
Yeah.
I was always the other side.
The other side, right?
I was always Euro, ED, I think it was EDM already back then.
Yeah.
Techno, hard rock, punk, ska, these kind of things, and really oldie stuff. So I was really R&B was something. Was never pop music fine. R&B dance floor never. It's
I was really into it. Yeah, I was really into it. Yeah, also on the dance floor. Yeah, so that was my stuff. Yeah.
So if you have any R&B stuff from the early 2000s, I might be completely fucked.
Okay, let me check.
Just like right now, right?
Okay, let me check. Yeah, I will look if I have it. But I let the shuffle decide. Yeah. So let's see what comes next. Oh.
It could be Nena. But no, it's different. I know it's newer as well.
Yeah.
It's Blinding Lights by The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Blinded by KPIs.
Blinded by KPIs. I have something clear. Blinded by dashboards.
Oh no, even better. Blinded by ad hoc requests.
Ad hoc requests, yes.
That's the best thing. People are asking you stupid things they could send in the dashboard themselves.
I don't know if these artists appreciate what we do with their songs and titles.
I think everyone, you know Neil Jankovic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he is appreciated by everyone. He does way meaner things with the songs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But The Weeknd was easy for you though.
Yeah, but that's maybe more EDM than pop or R&B music.
Yeah, he is different. Yeah, that's true.
So if you do anything like Avicii or Guetta also, they will also get. But it's, I think it went a bit more narrow in the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say it. In the last years, I'm actually completely into acoustic. I only hear a lot of acoustic instrumentals. I love soundtracks. Yeah, from movies and series.
Interstellar is great.
Interstellar is, for example, very great. Yeah, and I like to listen just to these. Yeah,
that's funny because what I listen to at work. I mean, there's two different sides. There's Radio Bollerwagen, which does
Radio Bollerwagen.
Radio Bollerwagen is awful. It's pretty much you are on Mallorca next to the Bierkönig and someone who's really drunk just plays whatever they like, which is cool. But I also listen a lot to synthwave and vaporwave, which is like also very acoustic, very synthesizer heavy, and a lot of covers of 80 songs. And also newer stuff. So that's but that's really something I can work with well. It's like white noise almost. Yeah.
True. No, but I get it. I also do this, and then I have a tendency also now, and I feel like a little bit old, but like this classical music. Yeah, I'm still. I mean, here and there, I like to hear to Mozart.
Yeah, I mean, if you like stuff like the Interstellar sound, that goes in that direction, right?
Yeah, obviously. Hans Zimmer, he's...
I'm a big sci-fi fan, so most of his soundtracks are in that direction.
Okay. Another one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Is it IPs?
Go.
It's fuck. Bruno Mars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the title.
Should I read it?
No. Uptown Funk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uptown Funk. Bruno Mars. Yeah, dude, you're good, man.
What would you do out of that?
I'm not very creative, so I had an easy one.
Upper management questions?
Uptown Funk. I actually go for easy one. Data Funk.
Yeah, Data Funk, yeah. Also works quite well.
Also works, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's go for another one.
Yeah.
I think but you're really good, man.
No, I also like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Britney Spears.
Ooh, yeah.
Oops, I did it again.
Yes. I never have long
Yeah.
Not.
Oops, I lost my data again.
Yeah, that's
Oops, the ETL is late again.
That's good. Oops, I lost my data again. Oops, the ETL is late. Dude, that's awesome.
Yes, if any of my friends hear this, we actually play this quite often.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine is quite fond of doing these game days, and I'm always the annoying person. It's like, I want to play this because I always win this, and my friends hate me for that.
Yeah.
I mean, quite often I'm too fast and I say the wrong thing, but I usually can say something after 2 seconds for every song. Yeah. And 80% of the cases it's right. So
you're very fast, I must say. I thought like, okay, I need to give you 10 seconds, but
no, it's also there's now this music quiz at the DRIVA. You should all go there. It's great.
Yeah.
And we did the first test, and they were playing the song for 30 seconds. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
5. Maybe 2. It needs to be very, very short. Yeah. Otherwise, it's too hard.
Yeah.
I know it's too easy, and everyone will get it. And that's not the right. I mean, it needs to be. Yeah.
But I like that what you just made out of Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. I had. Oops, I deleted data again.
Yeah.
So because.
But you never do this. No one deletes data.
No one deletes data.
No one deletes data.
Yeah, that's true.
At least not raw data. You can delete all the aggregations, but the raw data needs to stay.
Exactly. Come on.
Gautier is somebody that I used to know.
Yes.
Some dashboard that I used to find. Or some dashboard that I used to use.
Somebody's data I used to trust.
Yeah, okay.
Because that has a sentiment, you know? I do not trust your data
anymore. But this anymore is bad, right? That happens quite often. Why do people lose trust in data? Very easy answer, because the data doesn't show the number they want anymore.
Exactly.
And I mean that also happens when companies grow older, right? Because at some point, my acquisition numbers aren't rising anymore. Maybe there's plateaus. I'm just thinking about this. My favorite example is at some point we're like, we don't get more customers in Ireland anymore. Well, why is that the case? Then I checked, we had 2.5 million downloads in Ireland. I mean, if anyone knows how big Ireland is, 4 million. 3 are mainly available in Dublin, and if more than the amount of citizens of the city you're available in have downloaded yet, maybe you are not acquiring customers anymore. Or not as easy as before, right? And this is then the point where the data trust is lost, because suddenly the number doesn't do what it did for the last 5 years anymore. And then the data must be wrong, obviously. The
data must be wrong, right? That brings me shortly to another topic. Now AI, I don't know if you have heard of it.
No. What?
Yeah. The tendency to trust AI.
Yeah.
I mean, we already have our issues when we say we trust the data, or are you trusting the data? Now, AI brings that game on a really more complex and I would say critical level. But what is your take on it, on trusting AI?
So I love, let's at first say it's GenAI, not AI, because I hate this.
Yes.
People are like, AI is now there.
Yeah.
AI has been there. I mean, I studied AI 20 years ago. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
I really love using this. And I mean, for example, I think ChatGPT and Julius and all these things, everywhere I pay money for it, I'd probably make a factor 100 money out of it again every month.
Okay.
I think the issue is really that it is still not where every person can use it.
Yeah.
I mean, I also try to tell this to people. If you have issues, if you have also a problem with privacy, so always think about what you put into ChatGPT. But if you have your own version, which is enclosed, I think I just talked to Adobe yesterday, they also do this in your system, then you can put a lot of stuff in there, because I would say what you get with AI nowadays is like the data analyst or the data scientist immediately next to you. Not a very good one, not the best one, not someone who doesn't do mistakes. Because, I mean, there's still a lot of hallucination in AIs, right? I use it a lot, right? I use it a lot for, I need code to this, and this. Yeah. But I don't do this because I can't write the code. I do this because I need the code quickly. Yes. And I would say in 20-30% of the cases, I look at the code and I'm like, this doesn't work. Why did you put this line in? And I think this is the thing. AI is quite easy to use for someone who has a clear idea of what they want. Yeah. And I think also, I always think it's easier for people like us, because prompting is not something that's new to us. Prompting is something, if I ever build a model, I had the prompt in my head, I want this, and I follow this. Yeah. And I think this is also the case why people who are working in data a lot, or people who work with numbers, I think for finance people it's also quite useful. Yeah. But you need to be able to really describe properly what you want. Yeah. And I think that's the issue, that a lot of people use it, a lot of people get stuff out of it. For easy things, I mean, what I'm still missing in tools like Tableau and a lot of others is like, why don't you guys use this more, right? I mean, if you have a highly aggregated table, most of the stupid questions like, how much revenue did we have yesterday in this country? This should be solved immediately. This should be easy, right? Still not perfect. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, these are really the things. It's like, sometimes it works quite well, sometimes it doesn't work well, but you need to be able to understand when the result you're getting is wrong.
My take is only, and I don't want to go too much into details of that, is the mental laziness of people using AI. Yeah. Because we know that, I mean, and it's completely fair and understandable. GenAI is biased. It depends on the algorithm, that is feed with, and depending what GenAI tool you use. We talk now about American GenAI service providers, Chinese one, Europe wants to, and so on. Yeah, so obviously you get different results depending what you ask, because the data that is feed with is coming from a different biased setup. Yeah, so that is what is just the case here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, use it. Try it. I mean, I think the most important thing is really people shouldn't be afraid of it. People should use it. But I mean, there's this nice saying: you will not be replaced by AI. You will be replaced by someone who can use AI more effectively than you. Exactly. And that's the thing, right? I mean, I think for us it's easy, but I think everyone should learn, and everyone should also call the bullshit AI puts out. That's the important thing.
Yeah. One last song.
One last song, yeah. Yes, please. Backstreet Boys. What's the title? As long as you love me. Quit playing games with my heart.
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good, because everyone knows it's a Backstreet Boys song, but because they all sound so similar, it's really difficult to call them the song.
Yeah, so only I Want It That Way and Quit Playing Games with my heart, right?
Now give me a title.
Quit using your KPIs wrong. Or quit using my KPIs wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to kind of same direction. Quit. Wait, I wrote it down. Quit playing games with my data set.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes the same direction.
Very similar direction.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Come, final one.
Final one.
And then we go to the other stuff.
Okay, come on. Oh yeah.
Billie Jean by Michael Jackson.
Yes.
What would you do out of Billie Jean?
That was a hard one, right? I give you time to think about it.
I mean, German would be easy. Billige Daten.
Billige Daten, okay.
Or billige Dashboards.
Yeah, which means
cheap data, cheap dashboards.
Data. I had one, which actually fits the rhyme.
Yeah.
It was, SQL Gene is not my code.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, also fits.
Okay. I really have to take care of what I leave in this part because it's like me singing here. That was not my intention, but yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Cool game.
Yeah, awesome game.
liked
We
it.
really like this.
Very
you,
good.
you really hit the spot. That's really something I really like to play. I mean,
That's
there's
good.
also the worldwide Wohnzimmer version, right? That's
Yeah.
I really love that.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah, but it shows again, dude, you know your stuff, right? Also with the music.
Yeah, I can just remember stuff easily.
Yeah,
I think
so-
that's maybe also what's good.
Remember, yeah, if you want to go for data consultancy, yeah, especially in the areas we talked about, yeah, KPIs, North Stars, building up a BI and so on and so on. Marketing, yeah. Tim is your man. Also, if you need a nice DJ who knows the stuff, yeah.
I'm also cheaper when I do DJing.
Yeah, okay. So, you already touched it a little bit in your previous answers. Dashboards.
Yeah.
I think we have a dashboard problem.
Yeah. We do want to. I mean, I'm not sure. I think in what direction you want to go, but I think it's either you have no dashboards,
Yeah.
you have the wrong dashboards,
Yes.
but I think the normal problem is you have way too many dashboards.
All three, and I would agree that the last one, because is the one that annoys me the most.
Yeah.
Because I have to sit with people that say like, oh, I have a dashboard for that. Oh, I have a dashboard for that.
Where does this dashboard come from?
Exactly.
And maybe we can also go into a slightly different direction.
Yeah.
What I also always hear is that people want self-service.
Oh yeah.
I hate self-service. Self-service for everyone doesn't make any sense, because then it's exactly what happens. What you said, right?
Yeah.
If everyone has access to too much data, they can build anything out of this, and then you will always have this. I mean, you always have to try to make self-service and the ability to build dashboards as limited as possible.
Yeah.
But you will still have someone who builds the KPI that is only positive when there's a full moon and the temperature outside is more than 25 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And then you're sitting in front of them like, so what is this KPI? Oh, this is very important. I use this to steer all my work. Yeah, we didn't build this and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but that's again is what we also mentioned is about these hidden governance
Yeah, oh God.
that needs centrally be there to ensure that this kind of redundancy and messy dashboard environment is not really taking over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we're going to an interesting topic because I think I can say this now. I hate data governance tasks with all my heart. I think that's back to the people management stuff and to the structure and so on.
Yeah.
I think the problem I have with that is data governance is something to help stupid people not to make mistakes.
Okay, that's an interesting way to put it. I let it work.
Maybe it's a bit provocative, but I would rather have people not do these mistakes, right? I think a certain amount of data governance makes sense, right? Stuff like, I also think that data sets should be described better. I also think that dashboards and especially KPIs should always have some kind of box on the side that it's not just a legend, but that in layman's terms describes what you see. Yeah. But I think that's it. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's also my background with startups, because building proper data governance in startups, yes, possible, but
not necessary.
Not necessary, yeah.
That's the thing, I mean, like in a startup, you do not necessarily need data governance in that sense. Yeah. First of all, you have not the I would say the audience, maybe even in a startup that is used to work in a more governed environment, and you don't necessarily need that. Because you need to have like build fast, grow fast, and try and add on all of this. So governance would be in that sense something that is maybe really slowing down. But then there will be a phase where you then need to think about it and slightly introduce it, or in a more stricter way, I would say. And I think that good governance is again, and I use the sentence that we said in the past, good governance is again the one that you do not really realize or recognize. So it's the frame that you that gives you certainty, and allows you to move freely. And if you hit it, then you know, oh, okay, I shouldn't have done that.
That doesn't. But I think it's a really, really tough balance to find this.
It is tough.
Because, for example, at Free now, at some point we're like, we need governance now. Build a team, build stuff, realized most of these things we have to do take 2 years. We don't have to, we don't have 2 years. Yeah. We don't have 2 years. Yeah. Most of the stuff we will describe within these 2 years is useless after 6 months. So I think it's really like understanding what the company needs and then a bit of pick and choose what you need from the governance catalog.
Yeah, at the end, again, you said it, it's data management in all ways. Yeah, whether we just focus on data management, analytics, or advanced analytics, and so on and so on. It has a quite heavy share that has to deal with service mentality. Yeah. So a service that doesn't fit expectation and the needs of the company, it's too much. Yeah. And it applies as well to governance. Yeah. So having that said, because there is so much fast movement required, my take is that people are kind of lost and overwhelmed with the new demands that they need to fulfill and capabilities that they need to have in the functional unit and so on, that they don't know anymore how to play the game. So we tell them, you need to be, and I will go on that as well with you, data-driven, something that you hate, to say, or the impression annoys you, I think, right? So but there is a lot of people saying like, we need to be data-driven, we need to be data-centric. So what the heck?
Data-centric is better.
Data-centric is better. I also use more data-centric, but still, it's a buzzword. And as well as data mesh, that people have a different understanding what it means.
Or no understanding.
Or no understanding.
Just use it.
Exactly, just use it. And then governance should, and now everyone looks to governance as like, now make it happen that we are more data-driven, data-centric, data meshy, and all of that. That's a very unpleasant job.
I don't want to have that job either, right? I mean, I think that's the other thing, because I think it's difficult to make people understand how to use data and why to use data, but then the whole make them use it correctly and make them not fuck up the stuff they do is just horrible. I think that's not my thing. But I think it's also when we talk about data-driven and data-centric, I think the data-driven thing is always like, we need to use data, but no one understands why. I think for me, the one I like best is something like data-informed or being data-literate is really more important, because, I mean, the data can be there, but it might drive you in the completely wrong direction because you make the wrong assumption and you make the wrong guess out of it.
I think data-driven makes only sense if there is data centricity. So it's not something that is to be separated. If I come from a data-centric mindset and put it really at the core, then I can say based on that, I want to have this capability, I want to have this setup and so on. Then I can say that centricity is leading me to becoming more data-driven.
100%. But I think the problem is quite often that most of the companies that say this, they want to be data-driven, but there's no data mindset at all. They have people that never work with this and don't want to do it. And then, I mean, forcing dashboards on people that don't even understand what's in there and then make assumptions and make decisions out of that always goes in the wrong direction.
But why do you think that so many, especially people in the executive level, are demanding dashboards?
Because I think that people on that level are quite often data-informed and data-centric. Because that's what I saw quite often, right? People on a C-level always are good with, I wouldn't even call it data-driven. They are good with numbers. They understand, and then we go back again to the stuff I said before. They understand how numbers solve their questions. And they are also a lot better than most people to build these questions, to articulate them, what they need. And then it's really, I think that's the important thing. Maybe it's also not centric, maybe it's also not driven. It's more like you need to be able to use data as a tool. and you need to be able to use it as a tool to answer your questions. I mean, I already said in a presentation, for me, data-driven is dead. That doesn't make any sense. Use use cases. Understand your use case, and if you have this properly understand, then you are data-driven immediately, because you use the data to understand your questions and to solve your questions and your problems.
Yeah, I think I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, so I'm also a big advocate of use cases, because at the end of the day, context, value, way of working, build up of capabilities, finding the gaps, everything can be addressed within a use case. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's tangible, and there is a need. So really with you on that side. And about the executives, I think here comes also the aspect or the dimension of experience and wisdom. So
I think also you don't get to this point when you, for one, don't really understand how to work with numbers and how to understand how your business runs. And I think the other side is also, you don't even need to be good with numbers on every level in the C-level. But you need to be able to trust the CTO, to trust the CMO, to trust the finance guy, and again, to ask the right questions and to get the answers you need. But you're totally right. I think it's really experience and wisdom. And I mean, you also see C-levels that are quite young, quite early on. Might be great, might be the complete opposite. But I think if you are at a C-level in a big company, maybe also not all. I think some companies also make decisions where I'm like, based on what?
Based on I know I'm talking maybe now about a kind of happy scenario thing, but I would say that in times where we live in, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of knowledge out, and without taking anything away from either knowledge management or providing information, what puts the things together these days is then experience, and the wisdom that you have based on your experience and so on, to also navigate a company very much on a hypothesis basis. So I see pattern, okay, got it. So I know what will happen next. And I think that's also something why external support for a fixed period of time is so helpful, because we come with certain level of experience from XYZ, and we can judge immediately based on that what is the next step needed.
That's also a very interesting point, because I mean, I was always like, I want to become a chief data officer at some point, but I realized more and more this position doesn't make any sense. It makes sense to get someone in, maybe for one or two, for half a year, for a year, to do a certain strategic part. But I mean, I would be really bad as a chief data officer, starting in a company, building everything up, and then consolidating. I can't consolidate. And I think there's other people who are quite good in these phases. So I think if there's something like a chief data officer position, it should be more like, let's say we call it data advisor to the management, data strategist, data, Häuptling. What's Häuptling English? Data, the data boss. And I think that's not something for the people who are really good at that. You can't do the whole circle because you don't want to do the whole circle. I think that's it, and I think that's also you need to be able to get the right support at the right time, and then build this, and then go to the next step.
So you said too many dashboards for different reasons. Data-driven mindset can be misleading because not understood, not rightfully implemented, and so on. Now let's look into that from a different angle. What's the impact if you have this kind of pattern again on your infrastructure?
I mean, the first thing that happens if you have too many dashboards is the trust in data is lost, completely gone, because the issue is at first people don't know which dashboard to use. There will be a lot of old stuff where the KPIs might have changed and which is not deprecated properly. That's one thing. And I mean, the other thing, there can be so many weird things, right? If you have too many dashboards and you haven't built it properly, then every dashboard access will access something on your database. So I think the thing you really have to do in this point is, I mean, it's also a very good starting point for something else, because a lot of people with these 10,000 dashboard tools are also using dashboarding tools which are too old, which don't work well anymore, which are which should not be there anymore. And I think what I always like to do, which I also did with a thing where I had these few reports, use another dashboarding tool, which is more intuitive for the people, which is better for the people, and then you can actually build this up really by data mart per team, and then give them the KPIs they need. That's it. And to be honest, I think a company with, let's say you have product, you have tech, you have marketing, you have operations, you have management. These companies don't need more than 10 dashboards. At all, because I think a marketing dashboard should have all the information. Maybe you need another dashboard for cohorts. A product dashboard, yes, that will be a little bit more, but in the end you have a funnel, you have information about certain features which should be in this one dashboard. Operations is difficult because you never know what operations is. Could be nothing, it could be massive. And the management in the end needs a high-level aggregation of these dashboards together with just the information they need, which doesn't involve then the whole funnel, but more like maybe the conversion rate from A to B, from A to Z, stuff like that.
I think you're hitting here again a very important aspect, that asking again the core question, what will happen if I switch off these dashboards?
Nothing. Quite often. I mean, that's also what I really love about these many dashboard things. If you have 100 dashboards, 95 of those will be used by a one-to-one relationship, right? Exactly. One person uses this dashboard because maybe it's the dashboard they need once every 4 months or every 3 months to show the management their numbers, to make sure they get their bonus, stuff like this. And this is completely useless. Sorry, I mean, it's like
it is so useless, and it causes so much harm because of all these dashboards, and we want to be data driven. Companies jump too fast into the question of what do I need, and what kind of data warehouse do I need, data lake do I need, data fabric do I need, data marketplace do I need, data platform do I need, all of these nice things that are there. And again, the question is, what do you actually want to do?
We had a very interesting case when at some point Freenow got more companies in, we grew. We had this company from France that was very operationally driven, and they had very few dashboards. And I was like, so how do you solve ad hoc requests? And they had the greatest thing I've ever seen, because they built a very tiny data set, I think 5 tables, which everyone understood, which everyone could either use via Metabase or some kind of widgeting tool, Metabase, Redash, Superset, something like this, or via SQL. And that was so weird, because we then took this over and we're like, so I think some of you guys should learn SQL. And what would you expect? Imagine you have a company like Freenow, which is a lot of operations, a lot of product, a lot of marketing. The ops is very offline. Marketing is very digital, very high acquisition targets. And product really needs to be focused on, they need to understand models and data science. What team was the first one to learn SQL and jump on this?
Tell me.
The operations team. And that was something I didn't expect, but they were really like, this is great. I don't need to learn much. I mean, to be honest, they needed to learn select star from table where country is this. But they immediately went on this. And I think this is something that, as I said before, I don't like self-service, like having massive self-service data sets and Tableau, which you can join. No, that will always lead to shit. Give them very limited amount of information, very limited amount of data where they can get all the information out of there, right? Because most of the ad hoc requests are stuff like, I'm focused on this region, I need to know how much the revenue was for this product category at this time. Very easy SQL query, annoying to build in a dashboard. I mean, if your dashboards are built well with all the filters and so on, that could also work. But that was really something that amazed me, and that's something where I'm like now, and especially with GenAI, right? This is also why I don't get why the tools like Tableau and Power BI are not better and faster with this. Because that is solving so much, and Tableau is talking about this for 5 years. Yes, there will be something. There's also Copilot in Power BI, but it doesn't solve this very stupid use case. And I'm not sure, have you heard about ThoughtSpot? I mean, ThoughtSpot was also something, and they did this well 3 years ago. I'm not sure how good they are now with ChatGPT, because that might be problematic for them. The issue there was you really have to prepare your data properly, right? And that might now sound annoying, but it's the same if you do it for people that use SQL. Just prepare the data in a very structured, very easy way, explain this data set. This is where my level of data governance comes in, and give that to them. And it's really like, that was amazing. And that's also something I'm trying to push, because people are asking me quite often, if I want to work more with data, what should I do? And my first answer is always, learn how to use Excel and Google Sheets properly, which also everyone will hate. But to be honest, every dashboard we build is a nice pivot table, right?
Yes.
So if you can filter well in Google Sheets, if you can build a nice pivot table in Excel, that's the first thing. If you want to go a step further, learn SQL. And don't learn much, right? Learn how to select stuff, learn how to limit your queries, where from, stuff like this. Maybe 1 or 2 joins. You don't need to learn CTEs or massive inner-outer joins or recursive stuff. That's not necessary, but the way how you can ask the questions to the machine and get your answer back.
Yeah, I mean, I said the same thing to also on a wider audience on an event, and I said, like, I'm gonna say something that people who are from my professional side will not like you to know. Just use your Excel. If it works for you, just use it. Yes. You know why? Because that's the level of literacy that you need. And it tells us a lot. I mean, again, if the context is working, then that's the reality. I'm not saying that the company should stuck on that level. I'm not saying that this company will succeed on a long term. But it tells me a lot about this unit, this company is exactly in that environment. And
I mean,
it works.
it's also, I'm not sure how much you use it. I use Google Sheets for so much stuff because it makes things easier. And I mean, I'm a big fan of BigQuery and so on. Google Sheet tables can be data tables immediately. And I think it's also, if people can use Google Sheets or Excel quite well, it's a lot easier to understand what they need, right? It's also why most people don't like this. I like to work with finance teams, or at least the commercial finance side, because it's always like, hey, we need this. And then you get a massive Excel sheet, which might be, a bit too much in the beginning, but it's easy to understand because it's structured already and they know this. And I mean, that's also the case, right? If you know Excel or Google Sheets quite well, if you can do something like a VLOOKUP, you are very close to being able to code SQL as well. I mean, if you understand these concepts, how to join entities and what you need to see, perfect. That's
the technique is one thing. The way of thinking behind it, that's the important part.
Because if you do this, you already know what you want to see.
Exactly.
And I mean, for these people, it's quite often annoying. And I know data people hate this. Data people hate when someone says, "Oh, I want this dashboard because I want to put it into Excel."
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, there's 3 ways. There's one way where you're like, no, you don't do this. I don't allow this. This is the wrong way. The other way is like, let them do this because it worked and they might be smart enough. The third way is, let's do this together once, look what they do, and maybe see whether you can even speed them up more.
Yeah, I'm fully with you. And there's also a political reason for that. Company politics. If I let him do that and he thinks like, oh, cool, he let me do that, I get my target. You know what this person is? He's an advocate of you.
Genau.
He's supporting you. So whatever other battles you have to fight, I don't care about these tiny battles. Let them have it. But this guy will say like, you know what? The data team, whatever it is, is actually supporting us,
helping me,
and so they understand what I need and all of that. So what is now on a longer scale? What is more beneficial to you? That guy who uses Excel, of course, because
they already know what they want. I mean, I always have this slide when I do my presentations, which says, "This is my favorite data stack." Like, go from something like Mixpanel or Amplitude to something like Fivetran, get the data through, have dbt, put it in BigQuery or Snowflake, and then have something easy for dashboarding. So I'm also not a fan of big dashboarding tools. I love Looker Studio, which many people hate, but that means you have to have a proper semantic layer and can put anything on that. But in the end, you can cut out most of that in the middle and just have Excel or Google Sheets.
Tim, we're running out of time. Okay. So I hope I can say that this will not be our last conversation.
No, I think we have to do that again.
We have to do that again, I will prepare a new playlist
Yeah, nice.
for that. Yeah. But if I can ask you now for a way of summarizing the conversation, yeah, with giving you a key question attached to that. I said you are free spirit. We pointed out that governance is to a certain degree for you okay, but not beyond that.
Yeah.
And you said like data driven and this and that. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, I'm exaggerating a little bit for the bin. Yeah. So, what kind of freedom to data do you say is allowed?
Wow. Bad answer first. It 100% depends very much on the company and the people you have in there.
Yeah.
I think I would like people to have the information they need in a very structured way. So I would always say they should get everything, but in a way they can't make mistakes, which from my point of view means everything is very generalized, everything is, the dimensions are clearly described. So from my point of view, you have to start small with very, very clear stuff. And again, that's something like the dashboard for me I sent out at Free Now, which really just shows you 2 KPIs. Both KPIs are explained in the dashboard. You have 5 filters, which are country, city, daytime or something, which is also clear. And I think these kind of things, people should be able to do everything they want with it. But it's really hard to find this level of balance. What can I give them so they can freely use it? And what shouldn't they be able to see? And the funny thing is you can overlay this to any kind of company decisions as well. But
Again, I agree with you, and I think freedom needs to be earned. Yeah.
Yes, that's also a good point. And I mean, it's also the case if I have advocates like what we just talked about, or people that if someone from another team comes to me and tells me, can I please get access to the database? Yeah. Read access always. I mean, if you can write SQL, and if you can, I mean, the thing is always, they should be at the point where they're like, oh, I'm not sure whether this is right. I should ask someone from the data team. Always. Give them as much freedom as possible, but the data should be prepared in a way. So I wouldn't give everyone access to the raw layer, right? Yeah. And I think that's also quite important. From my point of view, data warehouses also should really follow this whole layer structure, whether you call it the medallion structure, whether you call it raw, refined, abstraction.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. But if people want access, I mean, in the end, the gold layer should be built in a way that you can't make a lot of mistakes. Yeah. And if you call it semantic layer, it should also be the thing that the dashboards access. And this, why not give access to people to that?
We need to talk again.
Yeah, for sure.
I have so many other questions and I have so many comments, but yeah, let me say, Tim, it was really fun to have you with us.
Same, it was a pleasure.
And we will put your links of your profile, of your podcasts and so on, all into our session as well. And yeah, we will definitely make sure that we're gonna have a session again. I think it was very insightful and refreshing. And now we start with a fun fact about data and DRIVA, and now we close also with that. But here we give the guest the chance to create an analogy or something that works for them when we talk about data and water or data and river. So what comes to your mind?
That's a good point. I mean, when my parents forced me out of Berlin into the countryside close to Hamburg, there's a lot of, what's the English word? I mean, there was at the Elbe, and there's like 2 Schleusen, a Schleuse and a Wehr. I mean, in the end,
2 like channels, kind of.
And stuff gets filtered a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's important. There will be a lot of data flowing down the river, a lot of water flowing on the river. Okay. You have to filter this stuff a lot, and you have to make sure that the right stuff just comes into your harbor, maybe.
Yeah, it works. Yeah. Of course.
Nice.
Yeah, great, Tim.
Awesome.
I say thank you.
Thank you. That was really good.
Take care, and thanks to everyone.
Cool. See you.